Hello class. In this lesson we're going to discuss polynomials, and specifically at the end of the lesson you're going to understand what polynomials are. We're going to go ahead and define that. You're also going to learn how to write polynomials in standard form, and that's going to be very important when it comes to adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing polynomials. And then the last learning objective for this lesson is that you will learn to add and subtract polynomials. Okay, so the first question is, what are polynomials? What you will notice when you take a look at the word polynomials is that if you break it up into two parts, you'll see that it's poly and nomials. Poly means many or more than one. And then the next step is to define what nomials are. So a nomial is actually a monomial, okay, whereas mono is one. So it's one nomial. So basically any number all by itself is a monomial. For example, five or 2 or 2700 is a monomial. A monomial can also be a variable like x, y, a, or b. And it can also be a combination of what I just wrote. So it could be 5x, 2xy, 2ab, 2700 xb. So then a polynomial is basically an expression with multiple monomials. So the following example, x squared plus x plus 5, is a polynomial. Okay, because this is a monomial. This is also a monomial, and then this term is also a monomial. Okay, so then what do we mean by writing polynomials in standard form? So let's say, for example, here's a polynomial. Okay, to write this in standard form, we need to write each monomial in the order of the exponent or the powers in descending order. So to write this polynomial in standard form, we would rewrite it as such. Okay, notice that we start with the monomial that has the highest power. In this case it's 2. Then we write the next monomial, which is x, because that has a power of 1. And then our last term, which does not have a variable, goes in the end. Another way to explain how to write a polynomial in standard form is by looking at the powers. Okay, this power here, this power is also considered a degree, and this monomial has a degree of 2, whereas this monomial has a degree of 1. Okay, it's implied that there is a 1 right here. Okay, x to the 1 power is just x. So we're going to go ahead and erase that. So if you put the monomials in the order of degree, then it becomes standard form. Okay, so let's take a look at another example. Let's suppose we have the following polynomial. Okay, so we've got 2xy plus x squared plus 5. So we're going to need to rewrite this so that the monomials are written left to right in the order of descending degree. So the highest degree monomial is x squared. So we're going to write that first. X squared. Then the next monomial that we write will be 2xy. And the last is 5. Okay, so you will note that we again start with the monomial with the highest degree. In this case it's x squared. Then we write the monomial with all of the variables. And then lastly we write the monomial that is just a constant. One other thing that I want to clarify, and I'm going to go back to the previous page, is that a polynomial also needs to have monomials that are raised to a positive degree. Okay, so in other words, if you have a monomial that looks like this, and another monomial that looks like this, okay, so now we've got a polynomial. This is actually not a polynomial, because if you were to rewrite this first term, this first monomial, it becomes 5x to the negative 2 plus 2x. Okay, so because this monomial is raised to a negative 2, where the degree is negative, this is not a polynomial. Okay? Alright, now back to polynomials. When we take a look at this polynomial, okay, and we say that this polynomial has a degree equal to 2, all we're saying is that this polynomial has a 2 as the highest degree. Okay? And then similarly, with this polynomial, the highest degree of all these monomials is this 2. So then we say it is a degree of 2. Okay, so then the last step is learning to add and subtract polynomials. So let's suppose we have the following: 2x squared plus 3x plus 3x squared. So what we want to do is, in order to add these polynomials or these monomials, you want to add like terms. So if you take a look, this monomial has a 2x squared. This monomial has a 3x squared, whereas this only has a 3x. So the two terms that we can add together are 2x squared plus 3x squared. If we add those together, we get 5x squared, and then we write the last monomial plus 3x. Okay, so notice that you can only add these two terms to get that term. We can't add 3x to the 5x squared because they're not like terms. Okay? All right, let's take a look at another example. So if you take a look at this next polynomial, we have 4 terms. We have a 4y plus a 3x plus a 2y squared and a 6x. And if you take a look at all 4 terms, what you'll notice is that 3x and 6x are the only terms that are similar. Okay? 4y and 2y squared cannot be added together because they're not the same term. They have different degrees. So if we were to rewrite this, it would look like this: 2y squared plus 4y plus 9x. Okay? Notice that we take both the 3x and the 6x, and we combine that to get our 9x. So here's the rule to adding or subtracting polynomials. So then to add or subtract polynomials, you can do so as long as the monomials are like terms. Okay, hopefully that made sense. If anything was unclear, please go back to the beginning of the recording and play it again. Thank you.